Everybody say normally that audio is half, but in our game it's more, right? So this is very important that we nail it, right?
Players can listen to their surroundings and pretty much get a good idea about where's dangerous parts, where are enemies.
Like I'm standing here and I'm listening and I'm looking at the world, and what does the world tell me?
Whatever sound plays has a real 3D world connection and actually means something.
If you make a choice to go into the north entrance to a compound and then there's a chicken farm or something there, you're going to hit like, and that of course is going to travel in the world itself.
The richness that can come from that, with players kind of trolling each other and distracting each other and causing things to happen, people have deliberately tried to make as much noise as possible in order to draw other teams towards them and then basically hunt them back.
The rotten part of the world we try to achieve with two ways. One is really like maggots and flies, so you basically hear like, oh, okay, something died here and is now rotting. It also helps to make you believe in the environment, that it's like hot or humid and you're in the swamp and like, okay, it stinks. Actually, that's what we're trying to convey. And the other part is obviously the supernatural elements, where we mix these low rumbles to make you feel like, okay, that's not a nice place to spend my vacation on. So the grunts are human, right, by default. They've been turned or zombified. We figured we don't want to go too much of a zombie, like the typical... We went a little more into this sickness and illness, like heavy breathing. For the bosses and specials, they're supposed to have their own unique characters. So we're using a lot more animals and mixing them in.
In Hunt, we decided to go for voice communications a little differently. You know, in most games, you're on your own channel with your own team. You can kind of talk freely.
But now the new thing is that it's actually 3D positioned, so it is coming from the game world. Suddenly, voiceover people is not like this optional layer of extra communication and tactical gameplay between two players. It had an input and an influence into the world.
Get in there and get out.
It's a really interesting dynamic because you put so much emphasis on communication in a game where survival is important, and then suddenly when there's other people, it gets taken away real quick. You know, you can't shout out your playbook.
We have these moments in the game where you just hear people saying like, shh, shh, be quiet, they're around the corner.
I've had people act as complete bait. You know, these are excellent actors that stand in a corner and they're like, oh, I don't know, there's no target down here and I'm really lost. You know, they're just sitting in a corner, like just waiting for that guy to come around the corner. I hope he doesn't get me, I'm reloading.
As an audio guy, I really like that audio has such a high value, that it's not only immersion and music and like, you know, getting feedback over it. It's really like a core pillar of the whole experience playing it.
Achieved with CryEngine.